Welcome back to another episode of Boys Love, Boys Love. We are recapping Gelboys, and we are on episode 3 this week. As always, I'm Adam.
And I'm RJ. Welcome back, boys.
Welcome back,
Gelboys.
Does this show give you, that, like...
Anxiety?
Yes.
There's my anxiety.
And coming to the stage,
Dochi.
Come on and join us.
Give me G, give me purr, give me meow, give me her.
The episode so far that we've watched, the first episode was just like an intro episode to kind of all of
what's
them.
going on?
Yep.
Yes, in fair Bangkok where we lay our seat.
Yes. Yes, correct. In fair, where they do the whole
the full
name
name
of Bangkok. Episode 2 was 4.
Yes.
4's episode.
And they do a title card, and it
Yes.
says 4 for Mod.
Mm-hmm. And then
This episode.
This is Chian's episode.
This is Chian's episode, honey.
So it looks like we're going to get all 4.
Yeah.
And then...
Because based on the trailer for the next episode, it looks like it's babbing.
But if there's an intro episode and an outro episode, so there's a one extra episode somewhere, because there's 7 episodes altogether.
Yeah.
But we are on Chian's episode.
It reminds me of House on the Hill, where it's like each
The Haunting of Hill House.
Each sibling had a story, and then it all converged in the amazing funeral episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Good
they all
show.
came back to the
Boys Love Haunting of Hill House.
Boys Love Haunting of Hill House.
Should
yes.
we recap? Here's what I do like. It doesn't feel like it's going to be the show. It's a good framing device so that you can kind of track each character's progression and where they're at in the story.
Yes.
The show also, this episode has moments where like Four and Bobbin have a scene together that's like separate from Chian.
And
like
then
it
Bo
doesn't
and
feel
Chian
like
have
it's like
scenes.
strict, right?
Yes,
It's not like, and now we'll never see
It's
Four
not.
ever again.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that aspect as well, because we've already gotten 2 episodes where like 4 was the main character, and 4 is the protagonist of the show.
Yeah.
But we got 2 episodes in a row, so it would have felt like too jarring, I think, to just fully be like, and now we're never gonna see him again.
Yeah.
Goff.
It doesn't feel like it's that kind of show. It does feel like they will constantly be intertwining.
Very thoughtfully crafted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should we talk about charging gels now?
I was gonna talk about it at the end.
Okay.
Well, so we watched the first 2.
Yeah, we've watched the first 2, and then we added the third one after we watched
the episode.
But it was happenstance, I think, that those Charging Gel episodes got subtitled
This week.
They waited for us to watch it.
Yeah, that's
So
why we were waiting.
That's why we were
obviously.
waiting. We got word from Look and Boss, that they were they're like, don't watch it yet. I know everyone's saying, but don't, just wait.
We're almost there.
I will say overall subtitles, there's a lot more gay slang.
On the Charging Gels.
Yes, on the Charging Gels for sure. But
yeah.
Even in the Aichi episode, on episode 3, it felt like I was seeing a lot more cis.
Yes.
But the Charging Gels for sure.
The Charging Gels for sure.
Oh, you're finding the 1-to-1.
There's for sure so much that I'm missing, right?
Totally,
There's no way to properly capture all of it without doing like, and now pause and read an explanation.
Right.
But I do appreciate when they try a little bit.
Yeah.
Because at least then there is like okay, like that's a comparable-ish kind of thing. I think what's so fascinating is like, I'm so used to what a gay person sounds like in an English with speaking English, like their tones that I can like pick up on and be like, And it's not perfect, right? Like there's it's a language, it's communication, right?
Yeah.
But
I don't like.
I have no idea what it is
in Thai
because I don't know. Do any of these? I would assume, just based on like looks, that Bua sounds the most femme.
Yeah.
But then like I compare it to like the actual characters who are like trans or like quote unquote lady boy.
Yes.
Like those characters, that's like another heightened level.
Yeah.
Right. So
I wonder if it's slight, and then it's also a combination of their generation, their slang. You know,
Right.
like I it'd be interesting to be able to pick out the tiny nuances. But
what's fascinating about language, though, and like the way
how it always evolves.
Well, the way it always evolves, but specifically with like social media, like I will speak for America because I don't know internationally, but like in America, local regional accents are being lost because people consume so much
like digital
accent they hear now is like non-regional or like it's specifically like that kind of California, like if it's all social media based, like a lot of it is that kind of California, like type, hello, like the vocal fry and everything.
Yeah. So you're keeping the craft alive by doing accents all the time.
I don't have an accent. I don't have an accent.
I don't have an accent.
I don't have an accent. I don't have
an accent.
I don't have it. I'm gonna.
You're Nicole Kidman trying to speak American.
I'm Diana Agron.
Oh yes. Bonjour.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Bitch, you're from Texas. I'm obsessed with her.
So right now I'm directing a play, and there's a lot of Tagalog. Oh, shut up. There's a lot of Tagalog in it. And my stage manager, who is not Filipino, she was like asked by someone like, how does it feel, like working in like a Filipino play or whatever, blah blah, are there things that you're like missing? And she was like, yeah, I like, there are things that I miss, like words obviously and specific references, but like I also feel like I don't have to get everything because sometimes those references aren't meant for me, and that's okay. And I think like that's what I keep coming back to. Like, yes, it would be great if I were capturing all of these references because I'm sure I'd live for it because it's like queerness existing in a different culture. And I like seeing that. But I would love to know like queer type, like gay type people, queer type people. Like, are they like having a completely like, it's even like a richer experience,
So we start the episode with Bua and Xian doing a dance challenge filmed by Moo, their good friend Moo.
Moo is named.
The
cameraman.
And already we're getting, Bua is very chummy with Moo.
Bua is very chummy. Way more physical to Moo than Xian.
I miss saying Bua.
I know.
But Bua is very chummy with Moo.
Yeah.
Much to, it seems to be Qian's chagrin.
Yes. And he's not that physical with Qian
because
at
last
all.
week,
even though he spends a lot of time.
Okay.
I thought Qian was lying. Yes. I thought Qian was lying. I don't think he actually likes Bua. And now it's like, oh, damn, he does like Bua.
He does.
But I don't know if... it makes me doubt all the time. I understand why Qian is confused because I don't know if Bua likes Qian because...
Yes, Bua is still... I mean, like, shout out to the show for keeping Bua a full enigma.
Totally.
This far. Like,
I do not know what he wants.
I don't know what you want.
Because there are things that Qian is doing...
Besides fabulous outfits.
Besides cowboy boots and little booty shorts and like a little skirt mom at home. Like, hello.
Bua wins best dressed for sure.
Absolutely. Even with a beanie and the little...
Oh my God. Please.
Bua is receiving major signals from Qian that he likes him. And he is choosing not to... He sees them and then will immediately bring up Moo. So like even here, so in this first scene, like we see he's like his head is in between Mua's legs and Mua's drying him off after or like fanning him.
I feel like I'm about to start saying Bua and Mua is what I'm about to start saying.
Bua is a Mua, I'm sure.
Bua should be a Mua.
Bua should be a Mua.
They have this 9 p.m. nightly call that they do, Qian and Bua.
Yeah.
But this is this is why I'm like, Bua, what's your whole deal, girl? Because like you can't be like, I'm so annoyed that Qian likes me, but also like, but we call each other every night
and that someone was interested in him and I told him like, oh, he's a player you wouldn't want to mess with. Like, there's a little bit of like, I want everyone to be in its place. I want everyone, my relationship to everyone is the same. Who are we watching that I just said that about? That it's like, we were
watching Gelboys, episode 3.
They don't want the relationships they have with people, they don't want them to change or grow. Like, they have to stay the same. Were we just talking about people? we were talking about someone when we were on our trip with our friends. We were talking about this is a real case scenario.
Stay tuned, because when we get to a conversation later in this episode, after the captioning of the video, we're gonna go back to Adam's queer theory studies.
Which video? There were many videos sent.
The video that he captioned
in the captures.
Captioned.
Okay.
So toward the end.
Okay.
So yes, so they're on this 9 p.m. nightly call. Chian explains, like, that guy who we saw at the thing or whatever. Because the other thing is, like, Bua was mad that he, like, clearly they were flirting.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
Bua
I know.
Was mad. So it's like, what do you want?
I know. Because Chian's like, we have this, how we have the playlist together, and, like, ever since we went and got our nails done, he keeps adding to the song. So I think he's, like, thinks it's serious. And
he's selling this about 4.
He's telling Bua this about 4.
Vermont. Yeah. And Bua is like, that's crazy, because I have my playlist with Moo, and he keeps putting stuff about, like, kissing what it feels like to kissing your lips. Like, I wonder what that means. I think he wants to, like, take the next step.
Okay, so here's the tea that I've also noticed is every episode we get a new digital way of flirting. So episode 1 is the airdropping. Episode 2 is the Spotify playlist. Episode 3 is the close friends of it all. So I'm curious if they're going to keep adding, like, the different ways that digitally we
flirt.
Yes, or, like, make everything more confusing, honestly. Like, none of this is, like, clarifying anything. It's all just, like, we're dancing around the situation. I mean, really, at the end of the day, this is a Jane Austen piece. Like, it's really just it's British people talking around an issue instead of just talking about it directly.
Yeah.
It's a comedy of manners.
Yeah.
Like, truly. Like, there's no such... This is why, like... In the 90s, we had this, like, period of, like, turning
Jane Austen's into
different high school pieces. And it's because high school has its own rigid, like, structure of,
like, stratification of, like, people.
Yeah, correct. And that's why it's, like, kind of such a good graft to put that thing on, because she's commenting on it. Austen's commenting on the same thing.
Ugh.
Oh, my God.
I feel like you would like Clueless now that you have, like, seen
I don't
Emma.
like Clueless.
I know, but I feel like now that you know the context of Emma, you would like Clueless now that you're older.
I don't want to say I don't like Clueless.
You just watched it in a time where I think people hyped it and you were like, I don't get it.
Do you think it's been less hyped since I saw it?
No, but you were like, it was like hyped. Like,
I need to see it a second time to appreciate it instead of just, like, have my initial shock of it, or not shock, but, like.
But I think there was just, I don't know, because I feel like now you would appreciate, like, the maximalist of it all, of, like, it is so, like, Rodeo Drive, like, Beverly Hills specific. I think you would really appreciate Clueless now that you're worldlier. You weren't that worldly when you were a freshman in college.
Okay.
Okay.
I liked it. I'm not saying I didn't. I did not dislike it. I just didn't think it was, like, everything. But I am not. While I just was saying those comedies were great, I have never been, like, a high school comedy. Girlina.
Like those, like, early 2000s.
I am a
like,
middle-aged white woman discovers herself mom.
Yeah.
A Steel
Magnolias. Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah. Nora Ephron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You weren't like a 10 Things I Hate About You, like where it was like high school. I think that's a Shakespeare,
those are
right?
good. Yes, those are Shakespeare. That was Shakespeare. That's Taming of the Shrew. They're good. I'm not saying I like them, but like I like adults. I like Miss Congeniality.
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
God.
You know, if you had come and sat next to me on the plane ride back,
someone was watching
across the aisle. The person next to you was watching. The person who would have been next to you was watching Miss Congeniality while she was reading a book. She was doing both at the same time. So she's incredible.
So for her, it was like Miss Congeniality is the background noise.
Yes, that's her like Golden Girls. She falls asleep to.
That was me. Like literally, that was me in like elementary school because my mom had
with Miss Congeniality.
Yes.
Oh.
It was missing. I just popped in that DVD and I would just play all day.
I could draw you I could draw you a picture of that DVD cover. With her with the dress and the gun and the slit. Yeah.
So good.
So good.
Anyway,
this is not about Miss Congeniality. But you know who would be Miss Congeniality? Bobbin.
Bobbin.
Obviously.
Yeah, I thought you would say who would be in Miss Congeniality, and it would be Bua, obviously.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Only. It's not a pageant. It is a scholarship program.
So your kid is Bergen. But speaking of Bobbin, so this is where the scene where Four and Bobbin are separated and alone. Four tells Bobbin about his like situationship status with Chian, which leads Bobbin to be like, "Be careful.
Yeah, it's
you
like
might get hurt.
You might get hurt." And immediately he goes sourpuss. Like, I don't want to do this anymore.
He's such a brat. Four is such a little brat. The best thing about this...
I agree. I think Bobbin will be like a beloved.
Oh my God.
The way they're like eking it out, I think it's going to be a beloved.
I know. I think he's going to get his heart destroyed. I'm so scared. And
I think
I think Four is going to destroy his little heart.
But so far, I am so charmed by Four. Everything he does.
I know.
He makes me giggle. Makes me literally star. He will just appear. He like does a little like face move. He was like, I was like, everything he's doing is making me like, so charmed.
It's just so shocking. I mean, like, he's not terribly young, but I just feel like whenever you see someone able to like do this kind of acting where it's like it's so sure of itself.
Yes.
And like it doesn't feel like nervous or anything. Like it's weird. Like it's a weird role. Like he's a weird character.
He's a weird guy. It's that like you are so confident in certain aspects about yourself, but then still be able to portray that I'm nervous and anxious.
Yeah. It's not. I'm sorry. I should be clear. I'm not saying like
not the character.
The character isn't confident or unconfident, but his performance is so like I know who this character is, and is so like not worried about looking stupid that like. That's why it's so like delicious because he looks a fool half the time. But I'm like, this is being a teen. This is that time of your life.
Yeah.
The thing I was going to say is like, I think what the show really gets so well, I would say even better than Itzy, to be honest. This is not a read. This is just truth. Teens are so self-absorbed because they can't, everything is so much that they cannot see outside of their scope.
Yeah, totally.
And so everyone else
is a supporting character.
Is a supporting character of their life. Which is really why I love setting up that like each of them have their own main character
because they all have their own movies that they're in.
Yes. And I love that. And I love that like everyone else is a secondary character, but also has become a pawn in their own personal game.
Yeah.
And like looking back, these characters will one day, right? Like they'll age up and they'll look back and be like, I was so shitty to XYZ.
Yeah.
But like in the moment, you're so self-interested in like trying to advance whatever you're trying to like get what you're trying to get. Yeah. That like it doesn't even occur to you that like you might want to check in with someone and be like, hey, is it okay that I'm using you to get to this end goal? Now, to an extent, technically, Chian already did say this before last week.
Yeah, that's true.
He was like, what I'm doing is I'm just trying to get Bua to notice me. The problem is like Four is not at a place yet where he can be like, okay, well then that's not for me, because he's like, well, as Shakira once said, try everything, bitch. So it is Christmas. There's Chian and Bua are doing. Are you seeing Fahu Forest?
Yeah, it's Christmas.
Bua and Chian are doing a little gift exchange, and Bua gives him like fruit.
Yeah.
And
a little reindeer ears.
And Chian gives him
a phone case.
Bua does not go to the same school, right?
No.
Okay.
It doesn't look like he goes to school.
I think he goes to school because I could have sworn in a later scene he says like he is before Chian does Bua's nails, there's a scene of them at the dinner table at Chian's house, and Bua's telling a story about how he was like, on my way to school, I saw like a dog pooped by the flagpole or whatever.
Yeah, maybe he like goes to an international school. Maybe he goes to a private school.
Maybe. Matching phone cases.
It's matched. That's what I was gonna say. The phone cases are matching.
They are matching. And it's a very clever reveal of how you realize that the phone cases
because
are matching.
Bua looks at it and he's like, "Oh,
this is cute."
And then you see Chian taking a photo of him with it with his matching.
And then Bua's like, "Okay."
She doesn't even try to hide it.
No.
But she's just like, "Okay, good job." Like he says it that way. Of like,
yeah.
You got me something like that's nice.
So then we have Bua goes over and
to the food
flirts with Moo.
Yes, because he's like, "Oh, Moo's here. We're getting food."
And the way the camera framing is set up is like chef's kiss.
Follows Chian.
Or is on the left side of the screen. He's ordering the fruit. On the right side of the screen is Bua, and then Chian walks into the middle of the frame and is like stuck between these two options. And this is now the second time.
Because this happened last week with 4.
Last week 4 had the exact same
thing. So now Adam
happen.
has a theorem.
I have a theorem.
That this is going to happen at every like solo episode between the person. And the person is in the middle between two people.
Now it kind of happens immediately in the next shot because we then get a shot from the fruit vendor's perspective, and it's of Chian and 4 with Bobbin in the background between the two of them watching both of them.
Yes.
Because now Bobbin is fully aware of what is going on between the two of them.
Because he knows that like...
It's a situationship.
Yeah, it's a situationship. So now you just keep seeing Bobbin just being hyper aware of like what Chian is doing.
Correct.
Around his friend.
Yep. The other thing I loved about this scene, though, that I have to call out is this like color story of red, because obviously all these characters have the same dress code, right?
Yes, yeah.
So it would be very easy to kind of get lost in a sea of similar looking people all wearing the same outfit.
And there's like a color grading that they're doing that looks like,
But they put 4 in this like red and white striped sweater. They put... Chian has the red reindeer ears, and then on the right side of the screen we have Bua with his red beanie that he has on, and I just was like,
just makes it pop.
It's so visually clear who you are supposed to be looking at without doing any kind of like lighting up, like right? They are limited because of how they are filming this with their iPhone,
or like without a big crew.
That it's like, how are you going to do this to...
You give him a big...
Tell the story clearly.
You give him a big, giant, flashy guitar case. You give him a big red beanie.
But it also goes back to like... We talked extensively during Itse about the color story and the red and the blue and the purple and the blah. And
the brown and the beige and the brown and the beige and the brown.
And we're not doing that here. But we are doing... There's still attention to that detail. Yeah. Like not every story has to have that kind of like story that was being told in Itse, but okay, we're 4 notes in. Okay,
let's move this on.
So then Chian, sorry, how long? That was 20 minutes already?
26 minutes.
Great. So then Chian, they all, again, after school, they all run to Siam Square or whatever, the like little shopping district.
Yes.
On the way,
Famous.
Chian puts his reindeer ears on 4,
and then they run.
And then he's like, let's run.
Race, yeah.
So then they run by Bua so that Bua should notice that he's given his ears to 4. So like, again, we're going to use pawns in this game of love. So he posts a story to his close friends with 4, specifically so that Bua sees it. But then he ends up afterward asking ChatGPT for advice. Please don't do this.
Please don't do this. The world's going to shit, bitch.
Please don't do this.
I guess 2022. We were ChatGPT on 2022.
I think this is...
Because they do the like 2022 Spotify and review later.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah.
For Christmas. So yeah. Yeah, I guess GPT was up and about because at my old job, that's where... Around 2022 when we were like, hey, these are some ways you can use generative AI.
So, yeah, this was like you're right. This was initial ChatGPT because this is when all the agents started being like, I'm going to use it to write my remarks. So he asked ChatGPT for advice, specifically about what does it mean if your friend has you on close friends, blah, blah,
but
blah,
he's
blah,
posting about being with another person.
Right. And ChatGPT is like, it means you're a close friend. Let's use our
brains. It means you're a close friend, so that means he still thinks of you as very important to be able to see parts of his life.
Yes.
But it also says that the person he is doing videos with is also important to him.
Yes.
So
he sends him on a spiral. So he takes Bua off of his close friends.
He smokes a joint.
He ignores his 9 p.m. calls. And he cries while he smokes weed. Now, in the moment we asked while we were recording, is weed legal in Thailand?
And it is.
I'm happy to tell you. In Thailand, cannabis, known by the name ganja, is currently
ganja
mama, as of November 2024, decriminalized.
Wow.
However, cannabis extracts and products are officially limited to 0.2% THC content. Only medicinal use is legal, but in practice, there is wide recreational usage. Mm-hmm. Legislation has been proposed which provides for fines for non-permitted uses and fines and jail time for unauthorized sale.
Okay.
So the biggest point, this is November 2024. I think something happened in January that changed it again, but I didn't want to go too deep into this, but that was a general answer to our question. Okay. And that's from our good friends at Wikipedia.org.
They were cute. Like
donate $2 to them today.
They were cute. They were like the wrapper, the paper were like little designs and stuff.
Yeah. Do you think he?
He probably did them. Yeah.
I really do think this was probably my favorite scene in the entire episode.
I know.
When he cried and smoked.
I know.
Nothing really happens.
No.
But I just was like...
His realization of like...
Cheon has been so even-keeled
this
entire show that it was nice to kind of see him like... Because truly, I will say, your theorem last week was not out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, he was still so mysterious that you weren't sure how much he really did like Bua.
Yes.
And even up until this point, I was like... I mean, like, clearly you like him, but, like, on what level are we talking about? And it was, like, nice to see him, like, truly
actually show that he is,
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit of unrequited.
We find out Cheon's parents are in Toronto. It seems to be on an extended trip.
It's on, like, a trip. It doesn't feel like it's work.
Well, first of all, the craziest part is they say the weather's so nice here.
The weather's so nice
and
here.
It's Christmas. So that's not true, Ellen. I mean, I guess if you're coming from Thailand, anything like cooling would be like
that is like
nice,
the immediate like opposite end.
Oh yeah, you've jumped the shark to the other end of the spectrum. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
And then they indicate that they might apply for a visa extension to continue their trip.
Yeah.
And he makes a joke to his dad about being like, have you spent all your pension money yet?
So maybe, okay, I didn't catch that. So maybe they're retired and it's just like, it's my retirement trip. We're just going to go. It's like my parents like fully going on their like long ass 2 hours.
But I think what's more important is the idea, because two things happen in this conversation. One, I think it's very clearly supposed to set up that like Cheon is alone. Which is like,
and then we hear
impressive, honestly.
But then we hear later, because he hangs out with his friends that are studying for their tests, and they're like, "Why are you hanging out with us? You already have a spot in architecture." So he's already set. Mm-hmm. So it makes me think, like, I think the parents are also like, well, he's already going to go to college anyway.
Yeah. We don't
have to worry about him.
Mm-hmm.
Once he's in college, he's just going to whatever. So they're basically getting their empty nesting like trips.
They're starting it
early.
But the other thing is that his mom is like, oh, I wish I was home because I need to get my nails done.
And I was noticing it at first, like little details, but it was here when he was like fully on his phone. Or like later.
There's a shot of the living room.
There's a shot of the living room, and there are nail like bottles.
There's
everywhere.
Hundreds of
so
nail
many
polish bottles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is his thing.
This is his thing. This is his tea. He's an artist. So yes, like you said, Xian has already gotten into the architecture faculty, but he is still going to those like studies classes after school.
I think just to like be with his friends, like
to not be alone.
To not be alone.
Yes. Which then I was like, oh, that's why Bua and him are calling each other every night, so that he has someone to talk to. Like,
I am curious to know what Bua's family situation is. I am fascinated because it's like,
I feel like it has to be. It's gonna have to be like
a foreigner dad or something like that. That's what it's giving.
It has to be something like that. Yeah.
Because they are. I mean, all of them. They are just out late too. Like, I think 4 it makes sense because his parents are always like hustling with the TikTok shop. So like,
we didn't even talk about the charging gel. Well, I was gonna sneak in the charging gel scene where
it would be chronologically,
happened, which was before the gift exchange.
Before the gift exchange, he was looking for a gift to give.
This was the 3. This is the best one.
This was so smart.
I think all of them are fucking brilliant. To be honest,
totally.
And I really like the first 2 because it's completely silent. It's all text based,
texts and
I think that's like very smart.
Yeah.
And like the fact that it's like a moment while they're charging their phones. That's why it's called charging gel. I think it's really great. But
this one was really juicy and had like...
It was 7 minutes long.
Yeah. Important details. So him and Bua, Qian and Bua are texting about like...
The gift exchange.
What are you going to get me for gift exchange? Blah, 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 blah. And then our destructive diva sends a video of like him, just like a selfie video, and then Moo kisses him on the cheek. And then writes down like, Moo said that this was his
Bua is living a full life.
Exactly.
Out there on the streets living a full life.
Exactly.
And I don't know a single iota of it. I don't know a single detail.
And he's like, yeah, Moo said this was his gift exchange for me. He said it's just the teaser. If that's the teaser, he said the real thing's going to be like really big.
How big is it?
How big is it? What do you think? Emoji.
Hello? So then Qian like goes on to TikTok
shop to buy for
a gift. And while he's scrolling, I'm gagged.
This is so brilliant. While he's scrolling, Format is like on like standby on his mom's TikTok shop because she's in the bathroom. So he's just, I don't know what the sign says. I'm assuming it says like be back in 5 or something like that. And he's just there like on his phone, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And so Qian starts typing on chat. What's up, chat? And it's like, oh, are you on sale or whatever? Blah, 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 blah. And so they are outwardly just like flirting with one another.
Flirting. And then 4 is the one who suggests the like couple gifts, basically.
Yeah.
And so that's why he ends up getting the phone cases.
So just put that bee in your bonnet. Okay. Matching item.
Matching item culture. Okay.
Matching item culture.
So
you don't have matching items.
Well, you bought Hoka's after I bought Hoka's.
You were such a liar.
So, so Qian
we do have matching Allbirds now. We have the same Allbirds, but you have like a high.
I have the high top version.
You have the high top version. I have the sneaker version.
Yeah.
Why are you so mad?
Because I told you not to get the same color.
But they're so pretty. That's why I wanted to get.
But I had them first. You're so annoying. So, and the worst part is we are the same size foot.
We
could just wear the same shoe, but his fucking wide fucking feet stretch my fucking shoes out. Okay. He goes to Dungeons and Dragons. Mm-hmm. He goes to his little tabletop game club. Luther. Just kidding.
It was so funny. Adam tried to do it. Well, it was not. We weren't actually doing tabletop. We were like doing it virtually. And you were like,
oh,
you were like, I don't know the rules. I'm so confused. Because you're not I think you would be a good like DM because you run the rules, but it's a lot of work to be like, okay.
Because you have to start, you have to create the campaign and you have to do the
It's like people roll the dice and you're like,
it's just,
okay, so you go through the dungeon and a large whatever comes, you have to like do the thing.
Yeah, but why did you become Paul Lind? So you're going through the cave.
Listen.
Now wait a minute.
Yeah.
So at D&D, his friends are asleep. I'm assuming it's because they're busy studying.
Yes, they've been studying.
That's the point. He announces to the table,
He's like, I'm done with Bua.
It's over.
It's over.
Diva.
And they're all like,
we've heard this one before. Let us know in a day when he calls you again and you're back in it.
As soon as he's interested in you, you're going to go right back.
You'll come crawling back.
Who's that?
It's a reference to Mary Poppins.
Is
the
that
musical.
Nana? No, what's her name? Katie Nana?
No, it's the Act 2 lady.
Oh,
Brimstone and Treacle.
Yeah.
So you've decided to come crawling back, have you? Because he's like, I should really just look for a partner. And they're like, okay, but what if? Because he's like, I have a thing going on. And they're like, okay, but what if Four really likes you?
Yeah.
I don't understand what has indicated that he doesn't fully like you.
Yeah.
Besides him lying to your face, which you just accepted at face value because it was easier than dealing with the fact that he genuinely likes you.
But you know that he genuinely likes you.
You know he genuinely likes you, girl. Be serious. Diva doll dear. Him and Four decide that they're going to get their nails done together on Sunday. Four has already scheduled the appointment and set up the chairs, or gotten their little seats ready. And he says, like, come cute or look cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we do this whole montage where he's going through his closet and picking out shirts and then checking his Instagram to see if he's already taken a photo, posted a photo in that outfit.
That's He doesn't have
any.
So he does go on TikTok shop and just like looks for whatever Temu is shilling out.
Mm-hmm.
And he finds this little crop, see-through, transparency, long
It's
sleeve
very
shirt.
much giving like the Diesel shirt the K-pop boys wear.
Yes.
That energy.
But like,
just like
yeah.
It's tight.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes back and forth between the medium or large.
Because Miss Cheon has body.
She's got body tea.
Body tea.
She keeps going back and forth, medium, large, and he goes to medium.
Mm-hmm.
It arrives in the little grab, and he wears it.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Teeny tiny itty bitty. He goes and meets up with him. He's wearing a hoodie. And then Four is immediately... First of all, Four looks great. I love this little outfit. But he's like, why are you wearing a hoodie?
He's like, I'm a little nervous.
He's like, I'm looking for a shirt. Let's find a shirt together.
Yeah.
Four pulls Cheon into the fitting room.
He's like, let me see it. Let me see what you're wearing. They go into the fitting room together. You guys.
Woo!
And the way it's shot is crazy because it is like waist. Like,
it is the most it's just in terms of spatial intimacy, it is the closest they've been.
Because Jen's like, I don't like how my belly button looks with this like
he's an Audi
crop top because it's an Audi,
which is not even real.
What do you mean?
This actor does not have an Audi. It's
a prosthesis.
It's prosthesis.
It's prosthesis.
It's prosthesis. Prosthesis.
That's crazy.
Different.
That's different. And then Chien's like, well, let me see yours. Let me see yours.
Mm-hmm. I'll show you mine if you show me yours, yeah.
And in this little dressing room, he shows his little...
Tummy
tea, flat tummy tea.
Flat tummy tea. I just want to say this, too. The other thing that I think the show, like, really gets right, and, like, I think as an adult, because you're so used to, like, regular sexual experiences, you forget what that energy is of, like, the first time seeing anything. Yes. And it's like the hottest thing you've ever experienced in your life, because it happens twice in this episode. It's this scene in the fitting room, and then later when he like changes, that one's a little bit more explicit
because it's like, but it's still the same energy.
But it's still the same energy of like, it's not, they don't do anything sexual.
It gives the same energy of it's a, just like sniffing and rubbing.
Yes. Sniffing and rubbing and
And that's it. That's it. That's all they do.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, the sexual tension. This is when later they go get their nails done, and Four realizes that Chian because
Chian is like, well, first of all, knows her name. So Chian's like,
name is like Annie or something
Grace.
Like that. Yeah.
Like,
Grace.
Grace, this is Mama, this belongs in the Louvre. I could never do this. And he's like, what do you mean you could never do this? You do nails?
You do nails? And he says, if you're not doing nails, you're not doing drag.
He's like, I just do silly designs. Yeah.
So Chian is,
So, and one of Four's nails spins.
I know. I don't understand. This one, I was like, I wish they had shown me how it was put together.
Where's that behind the scenes?
Because is there
I think there's a little piece that they put the shellac on. I bet one of the BTSs are just the nails.
Has to be.
It has to be. Because they're crazy.
Stay tuned. They have this moment where they go shopping later. This is like a long date day. They have they hang out, they like rollerblade together. It's very cute. They're posting stories together. They clearly like each other. Mm-hmm. It's very apparent. They go shopping later. They pick out this hat. It's the same hat in different colors. And while they're wearing it, Four is like, are you going to buy the same hat as me? And he was like, yeah, why not? And then immediately Four is like, so what's going on with Mr. Man, a.k.a. Bua, a.k.a. Miss Doll, a.k.a. the girl? And
Chian said, I'm letting him go.
Yes, I'm focusing on finding a partner. And this reaction that Four gives,
he's so good. It truly.
The trying to hide that he's happy. He's like, oh, cool. And he turns away so he can smile or whatever. I love. But I also love the direction of do it away from the camera. We'll know what you're doing. Yeah. We don't have to see it for us to know exactly what you're doing.
Enough of the side of your face to know. Mm-hmm. They make a little he makes him a little reel or an edit.
He makes him an edit on the train while he grabs his bicep.
Yeah. Well, before they get on the train.
Oh, yes. This is when they start doing the music that I'm really obsessed with. Oh, yes. So they start hanging out together because Four's phone is dying, so they're going to charge. And then he's like, you can go walk around if you're bored or whatever. And then they have this there's this twinkling music that I'm obsessed with. Yeah. And they play it anytime it's very sweet. Yeah. Just pure. It's the indicator of this is when they're truly connecting.
Budding. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they play the music. We could cut to them immediately making out. And yes, then they end up going back to Four's place together.
Yeah.
So Four is going to make this TikTok video where he's doing the outfit put on.
Yeah, it's a haul.
So he starts in the underwear, and then every time he jumps, there's a new clothes. We've all seen one. And it's so, again, this is it's not sexual, right? I mean, he is wearing underwear, but he's wearing underwear. It's not.
But you are in your underwear in front of a guy that you like.
And they are everyone is staring.
Everyone's not staring, but looking where they want to look.
And they keep, the best part is they really don't show anything from Four at all. You get a little close, you get a shot of him walking to and from the shot,
but it's from a far shot. Mm-hmm. And it's just Chian's face, you're watching him watch what he's watching,
and you are watching him look up at his face and then look straight ahead at whatever he is looking at, and it's just it's just so. Just a lesser filmmaker would be oh, well, then we have to show what he's looking at. And it's no, the audience knows. Trust your audience.
Yes.
Your audience knows what the fuck he's looking at.
There is a complete trust in his audience.
Yes.
And I think that is very hard to relinquish. Because I think sometimes you're no one will get it. No one will get it.
Yes. Uh-huh. They're hanging out together on the couch. Four is laying down on Chian's lap. They're very coupley. They're very cute. Chian gets a message from Bua. It's 9:01.
It's 9:01.
And he's are we not having our phone call today? And then right immediately after, Four has captioned the video. And he has basically used a bunch of emojis as like the caption to insinuate the question is like, should Cheon be Four's boyfriend?
Yeah.
That's the gist of the caption, pictogram style.
Bua had also sent him like a DM video of like him very up close. It looked like he was crying, but I guess he wasn't.
No, he was showing off that his nails aren't done.
His nails aren't done.
And there was Ty on the screen.
I think it was asking like,
I think it was like, can you do my nails?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I think too.
And Chien says, maybe not. Maybe not that caption.
Maybe not that caption.
Slow the roll.
The
tide turns, like the air just got sucked out of the room. Four's like, okay, well, I don't know what to
I'll
name
kill
it
myself yet. Okay, sounds good, bye.
I don't know what the caption is, so I guess I'll just post it.
I'll just post it later. It's not a big deal.
They sit up and they're like, okay, Jian's
like, I thought for a minute Four was gonna cry.
I know, me too.
I thought it was gonna be a repeat of the scene from earlier. I thought
there was a tear that was gonna fall because he was still,
because his eyes do fill with tears. I know.
It's really
so
good.
It's so
and then
good.
Jian's like, I think I have to go. It's late.
Right.
Thanks for today. Bye. And immediately it's the next day and he's with Bua.
Yes. We don't spend... This is how you know it's a Cheon episode because we spend no more time with Four. No. I don't know what the fuck he does after that.
He probably also does the joint smoking, crying, yeah.
Cheon does Bua's nails. He's very talented, apparently.
It looks like what the girls are doing.
I know.
So...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he knows how to do it.
Yeah.
But this is when I was like, oh, he gets them... I mean, he gets them done because it's hard to do your own nails. Yeah. It's harder. You can do it, but it's like there's more skill involved. But also, he gets them done because he likes going with the people he likes going with too. This is like there's multiple reasons.
Yes, there's a method to the madness.
Correct. So he does Bua's nails.
He takes pictures.
He takes pictures. He posts it to his close friends. And then he swaps the close friends list to be, instead of Four, it's now Bua again.
And then... This
is definitely the most sexual scene.
Yes.
Without being sexual.
Cheon decides to take a shower and leaves the door open.
He's in the bathroom. He comes out with his towel on to grab his phone.
So he can play music.
He goes back in to play For Eve, which is him and Bua's music together. That's their music. There is one point where like he was like, that's my number one song of the year or whatever. And Bua said, period. And period. It was like translated as period, which I thought was very funny. And then when he goes back in to continue his shower, he doesn't close the door. As an invitation. Like, it's obviously an invitation. Like, if you want to, feel free to come in or whatever. Watch, whatever. Yeah.
And Bua does notice. He keeps looking back to, like, make sure that, like, is this happening? Is this what I'm watching? Is this real? So what does he do? Get up and call Moo.
Moves so he can't see through the door anymore, but stays in the room so he can hear the conversation.
Calls Moo and was like, hey, let's do your nails.
Yeah. And then Moo's like, because he has him on speakerphone. Yeah. And Moo's like, how are you, cutie? Da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh my God.
I don't know what he wants.
But I know that that is not what Cheon wanted, for sure. But I'm trying to figure out, I'm so fascinated. I can't wait to get to Bua because, like, I don't think there's a world where he doesn't like Cheon.
Yeah.
I think he likes Cheon, but I think he thinks Cheon is actually a player, so that's why he's like keeping him at a distance. Yeah. But I don't
to be like I won't.
But does he like Moo, or is Moo another one of these pawns in these teens games?
Yeah, maybe he is because he said that to Four for Mod. That's what he's selling himself. He's a player. These are all tricks that he's trying to get to me, and I'm not just gonna be one of those.
Because the other thing too is like he has a similar reaction to the shower thing as he had to the matching phone cases.
Yeah.
But the matching phone cases, they're two totally different things, right? Matching phone cases is very cute.
Very cute, and it's like, okay, he likes you enough.
Yes, it's like he likes me.
Yeah.
The shower is like, you want one thing from me. So if he had that reaction to that, then I'd be like, oh, well, yeah, I'd be annoyed too. Like, if you already think he's a player and then he does this move, okay, so you're a player. Like, you just want that. But, like, it's in combination that I'm like, Boo, what do you want?
Yeah, now what do you want?
What do you want, Miss
Sweetie.
Ma'am? Sweetie.
And then it jumps again, and it's like after school, and he is back where it was before. Chian is staring at Mu and Bua once again.
And so he walks to Siam Square alone.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the
episode.
episode.
Because he kind of like realizes, like, I'm back where I started again. My friends were right.
We had this whole journey of this episode, and he didn't move an inch.
Mama, I'm fucking eating this up.
I am eating this up.
There's a reminiscing, there's a healing, there's a like, oh, I'm fantasizing about like what I could have had with my high school experience. Like, there's nothing like that. It just feels like the real brilliance of how this story is being told is so intricate and thoughtful and detail oriented without hitting your by making it so simple. Like, I more than Itse, I want friends to like watch this. Like, I want like Ari to watch this. I want like Mafia to watch. Like, I want people to watch it because it's like, look at how simple they're telling the story, and you know these kids. Like, you know exactly who these kids are.
The what seems to be the critical issue of all of it, right? There is the issue of like, Chian does like Bua. But what he also clearly does not like is when 4 is very aggressive. When it's very like, he's going for it.
He wants to label it. He wants to be your boyfriend.
But he's also the pursuer instead of the one being pursued.
Okay.
But this is when I was thinking, I was like,
yeah, you had mentioned that before. I'm like, I don't necessarily think it's like because he's the one being pursued. I think it's more like he wants to be his boyfriend. I think
it's the labeling
commitment.
For sure. It's the commitment, right? That's for sure a part of it. But I do think there is this give and take that I think like queer people, because there is such a rigid spectrum. There's such a rigid performance of gender that happens in heterosexual couples of like, the guy is the one who goes after the girl is the one who has to pump the brakes, right? Like, these are the traditional roles that everyone fills. Like, all of the media that we consume from the day we're born till the day we die is pretty much geared toward that narrative of like, boy chases girl, boy gets girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl back, right? That is historically the narrative. For queer people, especially like queer people of the same gender, there is no set narrative. So if you don't have any role models of like what it is, right? There is, to some extent, there is a dance that happens when you're trying to like court, right? There is like a give and take, a push and pull. But because that is already established for heteros, like, they kind of know what roles they're supposed to fill, and then they play those roles out. They go to the dance, they do the thing, right? The metaphorical dance, I'm saying. For queer people, like, we don't have those. So we kind of graft onto what we know from like regular media.
Right.
But then if you decide like, oh, I want to be the one who's being pursued, or I want to be the one who's being the pursuer, then you have to like kind of swap your focus and like find that specific thing. But that's not every single person you look for, right? I mean, it's the same for heteros too, right? Like, not everybody's the same, blah blah blah. But
yeah, they have an inherent
there's an established
thing that at least they can like do, and then if it doesn't work, then it's very clear. It's
not totally like a one-to-one for this situation, but I do find it really interesting because it keeps being like Chian is like, but even it did come up a little bit earlier where like 4 was really pursuant, and then as soon as Chian seemed like he was also into it, then 4 was very okay with being like, okay, and then like I'll push back just a little bit, but in the coy flirtatious way. But Chian is like, no thanks. I'm not. We're moving there so quickly. Yeah. I think it's very interesting.
Okay.
That's all.
Who's your MVP?
Oh my god. Bua's cowboy boots.
I know.
Just a sleigh. The Bua's skirt.
The Bua skirt moment.
Just Bua's outfits. Okay, if I have to pick an actual one, it is genuinely 4 again. Even though this is Chian's episode.
I know. His little asides, his little looks. Like,
plus the charging gel.
The charging gel.
Like, there's a moment where he's like looking around and then he like looks up at the camera, and it doesn't really make sense when you think about it in reality, because
because you don't look
at a camera like that, but he's playing with it like he's looking directly into. It's so good. It's so delicious. He's so well directed. He's so good at like finding those moments that make you not want to throttle him.
Yeah.
Because like he is an insufferable, like I would hate
to be his friend.
Because I would be Bobbin being like, girl.
Shut up.
Girl.
You are dumb.
You're so stupid.
Yeah.
But like he's just living, which is like, I don't know, kind of what
it's aspirational. It's kind of like, oh my God. This is
why we fought.
This is the time of your life to do it. You are in your youth.
I didn't fight at all. I didn't do anything. I did nothing.
You walked a Pride March once.
I walked a Pride March, and I was the first gay co-leader for a Christian retreat. So,
there you go.
T. I fought.
I started I keep talking about the story. I started the like gay club in high school, but we didn't call it gay club. We called it a coffee and tea club because we couldn't call it a gay club.
Because you went to a Catholic school.
I went to a Catholic school. But when I graduated, the moderator, our teacher, she was like, it's the gay club. Like, it basically turned into the gay club. I'm like, turned? Mama, look at the first batch, honey. And look at all of us now. So, I'll also give it to 4. But I think Chian does a great job.
That scene where he like cries.
It's a heavy burden for this whole episode to go through the roller coaster.
Yeah.
I think I just love his...
But it's also fascinating as an episode because the role of the protagonist is that they're supposed to learn a lesson, right? They're supposed to have a change. And while he does start and end the episode in the same place, he has realized by the end that he is stuck.
Yes.
That is what he has realized.
Which, bringing it back to Hill House, that's why this episode reminded me of Hill House, because they're trying to get away from the curse of their home, but they have to go back.
He's trying to get away from the curse of Bua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bua's the bent neck lady, bitch.
Bua is bent neck lady.
You can continue watching Gelboys with us over on patreon.com/boysloveboyslove. We're watching Gelboys week by week. So next week we'll be watching episode 4, and then we'll be back here to recap that episode. It's a Bobbin episode. I'm scared.
Who's scared?
I will be scared because I don't want to see his heart broken, and I can feel it. I can feel that it's gonna happen. Based on how we saw,
next week we're more than halfway through the show, which is crazy.
Based on the preview of like what we saw when we first saw the series, like the full series preview, it's gonna end up that they're going to use Bobbin to get with Bua to get them off their back so they can be together. But right now they feel like completely different.
There is about to be Messiana boots.
Yeah.
Musiana buats.
Not Musiana. Ew.
That's not what I said. I said Messiana.